Hi everybody, this is going to be a brief video on Mercury retrograde and how you can look on the bright side of it, how you can make it work for you. So many people out there focus on Mercury retrograde as being this time of mishaps and misunderstandings and things, communications going haywire, technology not working, and all of that is true and it does happen, but how does that really work for us? So yes, knowing is half the battle. So be prepared to expect those kinds of mishaps, but it doesn't do anybody any good if we're just setting ourselves up in this mental mindset that everything is going to fail, or if we just think that, what's the use, or, because things are already going to be a little bit frazzled and foggy. So with Mercury retrograde, I really like to focus on, what do we get to do? Because really it leaves us with who we are and what we are equipped with, because it's a time of checking in. It is a time of being present and of being still, and not a time of pushing forward or trying to necessarily progress forward. Like, yes, you can look at it as a way of progression by fixing and checking in on what you have now, so that when Mercury comes out of retrograde, you will go forward. And I'll explain a little bit. So with Mercury retrograde, I like to think of a little mental shortcut. I think of the re in retrograde, the RE, and I think of reset, redo, reassess, reevaluate. So really it's a time of looking, what do we have here? What projects do we have? What do we have going on in our lives right here, right now? So that you can look and see, what kind of cracks can you fill? What kind of holes can we patch? Are there any missing wheels? Think of it sort of as like a check-up, a check-in to see, how are we running? How is everything, Also think of the number 4. So the number 4 in numerology is about stability, and it is about security, and it is about a foundation. Think of a table or a chair with 4 legs. So when I think about Mercury retrograde and I think about our foundation, I think of 4, and I think, in order to be able to keep running or going forward as people, we need to make sure we're in tip-top shape. And that would be like akin to taking your car into the shop or something to see how everything is running, and you're going to the doctor and to see how your heart is doing, or just to check in. So really you want to check in with our foundation to make sure, again, that there's not a wobbly leg, or, all of that. And then to, polish it and or love it, or, to work on what we have so that it gets stronger, so that by the time Mercury comes out of retrograde, we go forward and we are wiser, we are stronger. We know that we are going to be able to go the distance longer, because we made sure we made time to reassess our foundation, what we have. It is such a good time for reflection, also to be open to receiving downloads, so that you can be still while you're receiving these downloads, so that you're able to upload to be a bigger and better version out of Mercury retrograde. Because how can you download and upload at the same time? It's really difficult, if not impossible. I'm sure that some people could argue that, but just think about how much anxiety and flux and physical irritation that would be, and it would be very you would be at odds. So just think of being open so that you can receive. And then you're think of also a little video guy, getting energy from, let's say, Pac-Man eating a fruit, and like wah, 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 wah. And so that you're just building up your energy, and you are feeding yourself by checking in and making yourself strong. So therefore, and opening up for those downloads, so then when Mercury comes out of retrograde, you've uploaded. That's a really good way to look at it. Also, it's a good time to just settle and to be grateful for the gifts that you have. What can you hold on to in your life with loving care? and respect, and a newfound respect and gratitude for what are your gifts that you possess now, not that you have in the future that are attached to some goal, or it's about like, what do you have, and again, working on it and with it so that you can carry it with you or mold it and give it out in the world as a gift when Mercury comes out of retrograde. And it's a time where we don't have to make important decisions either. It's a time when we can sit on the fence and we can take our time to check in and reassess so that we can look at all of our options and make a clearer decision when things start going into forward motion, when Mercury isn't retrograde. So, to look at Mercury retrograde as in, how do I get to do this? That is a really great perspective. How do you get to do Mercury retrograde? So I hope this was a little bit of help for you. Happy Mercury retrograde, everybody. Bye-bye now.